What's going on, guys? It's Advanced Gaming here, and yesterday was the holy grail of GTA. Heists have finally been announced. I'll leave you to the trailer for those who haven't seen it yet, and I'll meet you guys right after the video.
I know you've been complaining, but you weren't ready. You need a crew to take a score.
All right, first thing's a plane. Then we got a bus. We got the inmate transfer schedule, and that's a two-person job.
You sure they're not following you?
It's gonna require a little bit of finesse. Simple. Should be the easiest money you'll ever make.
This video, basically, I'm going to see the highlights of this sneak peek trailer, you can say, and also some of the cool features and new gear that we might be expecting in the next upcoming DLC. So, with that out of the way, let's get started. So this trailer starts off basically with what looks like a heist in progress, where the police are basically swarming the place, surrounding the building so the criminals won't escape. Now the best part about it is, after that scene, you have a scene with an online character with Lester, and Lester's basically saying a message directly from Rockstar that they know we've been complaining, but we weren't ready. And that to me is actually quite really like direct message to us fans, because true, everyone's been complaining about heists because heists were announced a year ago, but with all this content I can totally agree why they didn't come out with heists, because right now they look so perfect, and actually I'm really happy with the outcome of it. Moving on, we actually see the yacht heist. Now this is what I'm thinking is going to be a director's yacht from the Los Santos studio, which gives us an idea that heists are not going to be just on land, also on water. There could be other heists in the making of this, but this is probably going to be one of the most interesting heists I'm actually going to enjoy. Now also, some YouTubers want to see this yacht imported to GTA Online for players to actually buy it, which is also a good idea, because since the waters of GTA, you can say, are rarely used, and since the Dodo seaplane has been introduced and people are starting to use this vehicle more and more, a yacht like this will actually be quite a good idea. Now in the next screenshot, we actually have another screenshot of Lester, but this time Lester's going to start coming in your apartment to start the heist, which is quite a good idea, since in the first one we actually saw that you have to go personally to Lester's sort of headquarters, which is essentially the same building where Michael, Trevor and Franklin go in GTA 5 single player. We also get a hint that we're also going to rob the Felicia banks. These are probably going to be mini heists, probably require 1 to 2 persons, which is a great concept, since a lot of people spend their time mostly on GTA free roam. So a Felicia bank mini heist, as you can call it, is a really good addition. Interestingly enough, in this screenshot we actually see circles that are marked with 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now some suspected that these are going to be the locations of all the heists, which makes sense, but at the same time, if you look closely, the prison isn't highlighted. The prison is also going to be one of the most important heists according to this DLC trailer. So this is what I essentially think is going to be the steps. You have to get some certain vehicles, some certain equipment, some certain special armor, I don't know, but still, it is quite a unique concept. Now in the next screenshot we actually have the Apache Hunter helicopter. Now this is going to be an amazing addition to the GTA Online. A lot of people use buzzards, and probably buzzards are the most OP vehicles there is right now, this is going to exceed that limit and go over. Some say this is going to be the slowest helicopter, which kind of makes sense since it's carrying 4 rocket pods, and that is definitely going to have a lot of firepower. Now, if you look to the right, we have what essentially some people are saying is an APV tank, which technically isn't. If you look closely, this is the GTA version of a military vehicle called the Marauder, which is basically a modified Humvee. And there are going to be 2 versions, one with the gun on top and one which is completely closed and just full with armor. Now, I'm really hoping you can actually store these in your garage, because I'm definitely adding this one to my collection. And here are also some screenshots where you can actually see the bar that we essentially put on our cars on GTA actually illuminates for once. Like, we have some vehicles that have the bars. For the vehicle that's coming to mind is the 6x6, which actually has the lights on top, but the lights on top don't even light. They're just there for feature. But this vehicle is actually going to have that feature, which is quite unique. Also, some people are actually quite disappointed since they actually wished that this could be put on a 6x6. And to be honest, I'm really happy they actually introduced this Marauder concept to the game, which is going to be like the battle of the OP vehicles. Like, you have the tank, you have the PV tank. It's going to be actually interesting what people are going to start to prefer. In my mind, people are going to start probably going for this Marauder, which essentially it has a huge advantage over the GTA tank, since the GTA tank is quite slow, where this one, while on the other end, this APV tank has a ton of advantages over its side. It has speed, agility, and probably can easily outrun the tank. Well, everything outruns the tank. Now, in the next screenshot, we actually see one of the new characters that's going to introduce us to Heist. He's basically what looks like explaining what they need: a plane, what looks like they have to steal the prison bus and escape the prison, basically getting some comrades or maybe even players out of prison, which is quite a unique idea, since heists are not just there to make money, they're actually there to have fun, in my opinion. So adding this prison break heist is actually quite a unique idea. What's best about it though is that we're going to have finally cop suits. And yes, Cops and Crooks is coming, which essentially made sense that now players can actually own special like police gear, probably maybe even SWAT, that's pushing it a little bit, or even cop cars, that is then pushing it way over. So in the next screenshot, we actually see the heist board with the payouts on it. Now this is going to be glorious, and also confirming that the leader is going to decide each player how much percentage he's going to get. In this case, the leader took a 55% and the 3 remaining players took a 15%, which actually kind of makes sense since the heist leader is going to have to pay a good amount of money. So it makes sense that the leader takes a decent amount of percentages. For example, if one of the heists requires the leader to pay 250k for the heist preparation, it at least should give him a bit more percentage, but not to a whole extreme. Now in the next screenshot, we have one of the leaked information vehicles. Now this is essentially what looks like it's the Obale tailgater, which some YouTubers are also confirming it, but in my opinion it is not an Obale tailgater, it's actually a Mitsubishi Evo. In the next screenshot, you actually see it has more of a Mitsubishi Evo look other than just a fully modified Obey tailgater, or it could be like a newer version of the Obey tailgater. Now, in my opinion, if it's the Evo, I'm just gonna die, because I've been expecting a Mitsubishi Evo rendition in this game for a huge amount of time. So seeing that this car is finally making it to the GTA Online and it's going to be bulletproof, just like the Duke of Death, probably is going to put also some people in a certain disadvantage, since you can't basically shoot an armored window tinted Evo. So this is going to be an Evo on steroids, but also it's a really good addition, and I'm hoping it's not a Pegasus vehicle. I would love to see the customizations on this car. Another clue that I've seen that clearly shows it's not the Obey tailgater is in the next screenshot, where you actually see the two players robbing a Felicia bank with the car in the background. Now the car looks essentially smaller than an Obey tailgater, which hypes up even more the idea that it's an Evo. Now an idea that I might have in mind is that this is probably going to be the same concept that happened with the Duke of Death. You have the Duke of Death on a one hand, and then you have the normal like Evo on the other hand, which essentially is going to make a little sense, since this car means business, and it's probably going to be a really difficult car to like chase or even shoot the players in it. Another screenshot of the car, but this time it includes the cargo bob with a new attachment, and finally this attachment is probably going to be even better than the hook. I mean, it takes so much time to hook like a car, but this time we have a magnet. Essentially what looks like is the Evos being picked up by the cargo bob from what looks like roadblock in the background, which basically means that the heist was like successful, but also it might as well show that the Felicia banks might be a 3-person job, since in the first picture you had 2 persons robbing the bank, and now you have a person that actually came with a cargo bob and hooked the car away from the scene, which the more players, I guess it's going to be more fun. Now in the next screenshot we have the Hydra, which is going to be an insane jet to fly and kill people on GTA Online. Now this was leaked so many times and people were basically giving up and calling it a myth, but this trailer just confirmed it, that Hydra's coming with heists. It wasn't coming out with a military DLC or with the flight school update. It was always planned for heists, which gives me an idea that a heist in the military might be possible, like a mini heist, not one of the huge heists, due to the fact that the Hydra is flying off an aircraft carrier, which also confirms that an aircraft carriers are going to be in GTA Online, which is crazy. I mean, war at sea, that's going to be insane for role-playing and even just killing. I've got a feeling that the Harrier jump jet is going to be faster than the laser. Moving on to another screenshot, we have the Barracuda helicopter, and this is what essentially is a Black Hawk alternative. And I have to say, the Interceptor's days are done. I mean, this has miniguns on the side and in the front a freaking cannon. This is going to be, in my opinion, probably more overpowered than the Hunter. I mean, the Hunter can shoot in only one direction. This is basically moving like forward, at the same time it's firing forward, to the right and to the left and all around it. Now that is insane. In the next screenshot we have a GTA Online player that's basically shooting, but what's interesting about it is wearing a new type of body armor. Now this is what essentially I think it's way heavier than the super heavy armor that we already have in the game, but it also has a different design to it, which essentially sort of confirms that we're getting like new type of armor. But also if you look to his legs, I don't know if that looks like a new type of like trousers for it, but it has armor as well on the kneecaps. So yeah, looking forward to that as well. It's the end of my video and opinions and highlights that I saw on this Heist DLC trailer. I'm really looking forward for this. I really can't wait to start streaming with you guys and playing with fans. Before I even end the video, I'm gonna give you some idea on what you might see on my channel. On my channel that you're probably going to see is a ton of news, updates, leaked informations, and probably gameplay. I'm still waiting on my Elgato. I'm starting to prepare myself for streaming so I can interact with you guys. I mean, if we're going to start this entertainment, I might as well be spending it all with you guys. So this is Advanced Gaming NB. Thanks very much for watching my video. Please subscribe, leave a comment down below, and leave a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in the next video.